Welcome to my midweek episode of Real Women's Stories. Hi, I'm Lisa Quait and I'm a life coach. In my previous episode, I interviewed Emily Worley. Now, Emily is a baby, toddler, and infant feeding and sleep coach. So, in that episode, we delved into births, being a new mum, and all that comes with all of that new stuff that we don't really know about. But in this episode, I'd like to touch upon how hard it is being a mum and self-care. So I myself have had quite a tough situation. I'm not going to lie. I've really struggled being a mum. So I had my first daughter in 2006. And unfortunately, my relationship with her father didn't work out. So I was a single mum for a while. That was tough in itself because not only was I going through a divorce, but I was trying to bring up, I think she was 18 months old at the time. So I had to navigate working, childcare, the pressures of having to pay for childcare, having to ask for help, and then having to have a full-time job and keeping that up. So the pressures and the stresses on me were immense. I fortunately met my second husband. So I had a 3-year-old, and then my husband Adam had a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. The pressure of blending our family together was quite considerable. We had to get a lot of outside help in order to navigate that relationship, to ensure that we were on the same page as parents, that we had the same values, we had the same morals, and we had to stick together as a team to ensure that our children felt supported and secure. The kids are now older. My eldest is 23, middle is 20, and the youngest is 18. Listen, I've made mistakes. We all do. But one thing I've learned is self-care, because if we as parents aren't mentally okay and emotionally okay, we can't be there for our kids. So this might sound a little bit selfish, and I don't know if this resonates with any of you, but we have to look after ourselves. And we're not being selfish. We just have to take time out for ourselves as individuals, and then ourselves as a couple if we're in a relationship, whilst making sure that our children are able to grow and mature in a safe, secure environment. So let me give you some healthcare tips. Set your boundaries. Think about the boundaries that you set for yourself. So if it's, guys, once my bedroom door is shut, you can't come in at night past a certain time. Obviously, if they're not feeling well, if they're having a nightmare, if they're young kids, that's fine. But explain to them it's your time. So have your time in your own space. What I often used to do was say, right, guys, I just need some time out. I'm going to take half an hour in my bedroom. If they were younger, I told them what the time was. I put a timer on for myself, and it just gave me that time to reflect, to calm myself down if there was a difficult situation, or if I just needed some time to myself. Because I mean, what's it like when you go into the toilet, a kid's knocking on a door, they're walking in, and you're trying to go for a poo, and they're just there all the time, and that's your time. So if you're going to the toilet, explain you're going to the toilet and mummy will be back in a minute. Or if the kids are older and you want some time out, you just go into your bedroom and you tell them how long you want, and you'd ask them, please don't disturb me. This is my time. And afterwards, I will give you some of my time to be with you. Second thing as I go into meditation is breath work. I tend to really shallow breathe. I don't breathe deeply. So for me, it's really important to get that oxygen into my body, because if I can breathe deeply, I'm going to slow down my heart rate. I'm going to slow down my stress levels. I'm going to lower my cortisol levels. And then I'm going to be able to start thinking clearly. It's about having clarity. The other one is connect with others. So this is a great platform for you to hear about my story and other people's stories, but I bet you have a group of friends or women that you can have a little chat with and some time out. So don't be afraid. If you feel there's a friendly face, if you feel there's somebody friendly and you're not around your family or your immediate friends and you're having a hard time, but you know there is someone, I guarantee you they're not going to turn you away. So reach out for help. It's so important. The other thing I would suggest you do, which I did, which I find is really important, if you are in a relationship, have some alone time with your partner. It is so important. We lose ourselves with our kids. They consume us. We start worrying about them. We get anxiety about them. And then suddenly we forget, oh, we've got someone else here as well. So not only is that person there to help you and support you because you're both on that journey together, but also have some alone time. So if you can't get a babysitter, just at night when the kids have gone to sleep, switch off your phones, turn the TV off, and talk, communicate. Talk about your day. It doesn't have to just be about the children. Remember what things were like before the kids came along. It is so important for relationships, for your self-care, to have that time with your partner. Communication. Now, if you are in a relationship, it's teamwork. Absolutely. So you guys need to make sure, and I will probably say that before you get together, before you got together, you should have kind of, had a chat about what it would be like if you were parents, having the same morals and values. And when your kids come along, you need to share the routines. Also, you need to decide if there's a situation going on between the kids and you, especially with me and my husband, Adam. We had obviously, difficulty because I was a stepmom and he was a stepdad, and we had to be on the same page. So we would often sit down and talk about a situation that maybe I'd gone through with one of the kids or he had, and how we as two people were going to deal with that. Now, one person might deal with a situation and might have that conversation with the child, but the other one needs to back them up. It is important you're on the same page. So have those communications, have those discussions, make sure that you're on the same page, and whatever decision you make, the both of you are backing each other up, because you two need to be strong as a couple to deal with the kids. I really hope that you have found this episode useful. There is so much more to uncover about being a parent, especially about being a mother. So if there are any other topics that you are struggling with, if there's any more advice that you would need and you'd like me to talk about or have someone guest, or indeed if you'd like to be a guest on one of my episodes to talk about your life experience about being a parent, about being a mum, be it a step parent, a single family parent, it's huge. And we often do feel like the world is on our shoulders. So why don't you email me at TheRealStoriesPodcast@gmail.com. That's TheRealStoriesPodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you do need help, as I said, this is a community. Let's get together. Let's empower each other. Let's share our stories and let's be there for each other. Email me at TheRealStoriesPodcast@gmail.com. And if you do like this episode and any of the episodes that I've recorded so far, it would be amazing if you could just leave a review and a rating for us. We will then know that the episodes that you like are ones to delve into again. And also that if you, by sharing it and by subscribing it and by leaving reviews and ratings, other people will get to know about this podcast. So I'm going to leave you now. I really hope I've been able to give you some little useful tips. As I said, I literally touched the surface. I know there's a lot more to delve into, and I'm sure we will do more episodes. But until the next time, until next week, have a fantastic week, and I will see you for my next episode of Real Women's Stories with me, Lisa Quait. Have a fantastic week. See you later.